Namaste, angels. I'm here to do the daily reading for Thursday, May 25th. So this is the big day that I've been waiting for. I know some of you guys are like, yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to come out. And I feel good about it. I feel really good about it because I had my cards ready, and then I said, oh, I meant to pull out the Mary Queen of Angels cards because they have a Jesus card in there. He may want to show up. And sure enough, I opened right to him. We're starting with Jesus. And then I said, oh, okay, and I need the Kyle Gray, the Keepers of the Light cards because they have that Mary Magdalene in there, and she may want to show up too. So she didn't, but guess who did? Original Jesus, Horus. So this is exciting. Uh, with that, I'm gonna go. We have so many things to talk about. I'm gonna go straight to the Feast of the Ascension. The Feast of the Ascension of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, also known, that's the name of the that's the name of the feast. So if you don't consider him your Lord and Savior, I'm not attributing that to you. I'm reading the proper name of the feast day. It is called the Feast of the Ascension of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It is also known as Ascension Thursday, Holy Thursday, and Ascension Day. This commemorates the bodily ascension of Jesus into heaven. It is one of the universally celebrated Christian churches' feast days, Christian churches all over the world, ranking with the feasts of the Passion of Easter and the Pentecost. Ascension Day is traditionally celebrated on a Thursday, the 40th day of Easter, following the count given in the book of Acts, Acts 1:3. Although some Christian denominations have moved the observance to the following Sunday. So I was like, I got to tell them how important Thursday is also. Like, because why are all these things on a Thursday? Holy Thursday is the Last Supper, right? And then there's Ascension Thursday, 40 days after the resurrection. Why Thursday? So I knew that Thursday is also known as Thor's Day, and that Thor is just, a lower vibration and subsequent vibration of Osiris. It's just how he was worshipped in Nordic tradition, or as whom he was worshipped in Nordic tradition, but the same God. And I was going to say, similar to Zeus and Jupiter, it's all the same being. And I was prepared to tell you guys this, and I said, you know what, let me look up and see if there's anything that says Thor's Day. I was only looking for Thor's Day. What I found was www.crowl, and I found it right away. I didn't have to dig for it or anything. Crowl, CROWL.org/Lawrence/time/days.html. Okay? And this has like the 7 days of the week, the naming of the days, how they all got their names and stuff like that. When you scroll down to Thursday, sure enough, it's Thor's Day, as I knew. But they also give you like the Middle English, the Old English. So I thought, oh, this is cute. So in Middle English, it is referred to as Thursday, as it is here. Old English is Thursdag. Old Norse is Thorsdagur, meaning Thor's Day. Old English is Thunresdag, Thunresdaeg, and that means Thunder's Day. Latin, dies Jovis or Hovis, meaning day of Jupiter, Jovis, it's spelled. And ancient Greek, Hermera day of Zeus. So those are specifically the other two that I was going to mention, Zeus and Jupiter. They have them here listed. Thor, this is still according to this page, I'm reading it from the page, is the Norse god of thunder. He is represented as riding a chariot drawn by goats and wielding the hammer. He is the defender of Aesir, Aesir, and is destined to kill and to be killed by the Midgard serpent, which is what happened with Osiris, right? He was killed by a dark serpent, his brother Seth. So same story. Jupiter, or Jove, or maybe it's Hove or Hove. Although they don't have an accent over the E or anything. It's spelled Jove. is the supreme Roman god and patron of the Roman state. He is noted for creating thunder and lightning. And Zeus is the Greek god of the heavens and the supreme Greek god. And Osiris is the supreme god, period, and also known as god of the living and the dead, which covers all beings, sort of like this Zeus is the god of the heavens. With that, I'll go into telling you guys a little bit about Saint Mary Magdalene de Pazzi. So this is from www.catholic.org/saints/saint. Well, you can probably just go to catholic.org and type in Saint Mary Magdalene de Pazzi. You don't need all the slashes. Saint Mary Magdalene de Pazzi. It would be easy to concentrate on the mystical experiences God gave this saint. So she's known as a mystic. I don't know if they're going to say that plainly. And they're saying that it'd be easy to concentrate on how she was a mystic or how she was mystical rather than her life. In fact, it would be difficult to do differently, so overwhelmingly were those gifts from God. Which is what my name means, by the way. Gift of God. The temptation for many modern readers, including the author, would be to see little to identify with these graces and to walk away without seeing more. The other temptation would be to become so fascinated with these stories that one would neglect to dig deeper and to learn the real lessons of her life. But Mary Magdalene de Pazzi is not a saint because she received ecstasies and graces from God. Many have received visions, ecstasies, and miracles without becoming, quote-unquote, holy. She is a saint because of her response to those gifts. A lifetime struggle to show love and gratitude to the God who gave her those graces. This is similar to anytime anybody asks me about any of my gifts, I always say, by his grace, I can do this. Or by her grace, or by their grace, I can do X, Y, Z. It's not from me. So this is what they're trying to explain here, similarly about Mary Magdalene de Pazzi. In fact, Mary Magdalene saw her ecstasies as evidence of a great fault in her, not a reward for her holiness. She told one fellow sister that God did not give this sister the same graces because you don't need them in order to serve him. In her eyes, God gave these gifts to those who were too weak to become holy otherwise. That Mary Magdalene received these gifts proved in her mind how unworthy she was. Born in Florence on April 2nd in the year 1566, which is 666 equals 6 equals love, just like the course of my reading. 6666, April 2nd, 42 equals 6, 15 equals 6, 6666. She was baptized Catherine, that was my grandmother's name, and was taught mental prayer when she was 9 at the request of her mother. Her introduction at this age to this form of prayer, which involves half an hour of meditation, did not seem to be unusual. And yet today, we often believe children incapable of all but the simplest rote prayers. At 12 years old, which is a very special age for a lot of people in religiosity and spirituality, that's when Jesus was found teaching the elders at the temple basically the beginnings of the new covenant. That's when Jewish children, have their bar or bat mitzvah. That's when Catholic children have their confirmation. That's when I, it was like 11, 12, decided personally I wanted to be a nun. A lot of people have this coming into their spirituality at the age of 12. She did as well. At the age of 12, she experienced her first ecstasy while looking at a sunset, which left her trembling and speechless. With this foundation in prayer and in mystical experience, it isn't surprising that she wanted to enter a contemplative monastery of the Carmelite order, which is what I wanted to do too at the same age. She chose the monastery of St. Mary's of the Angels because the nuns took daily communion, which was unusual at the time. In the year 1583, she had her second mystical experience when the other nuns saw her weeping before the crucifix as she said, "Oh, love, You are neither known nor loved. Talking to the crucifix. Mary Magdalene's life is a contradiction of our instinctive thought that joy only comes from avoiding suffering. A month after being refused early religious profession, she fell deathly ill. Fearing of her life, the convent had her professed from a stretcher at the altar. After that, she experienced 40 days of ecstasies. Of course, 40 days, a very, or 40, the number 40, having a lot of meaning in the scriptures. I forget how many times it's mentioned. I used to know this. This is happening to me a lot. Like the past week, I thought it was Mercury. It might still be Mercury. I'm still getting over the effects. But it's mentioned a lot of times in the scriptures, the number 40. After that, she experienced 40 days of ecstasies that coexisted with her suffering. Joy from the graces God gave her were mixed with agony as her illness grew worse. In one of her experiences, Jesus took her heart and hid it in his own, telling her he would not return it until it is wholly pure and filled with pure love. She didn't recover from her illness until told to ask for intercession of Blessed Mary Vagnisi over 3 months later. What her experiences in prayer had given her was a familiar personal relationship with Jesus. Her conversations with Jesus often take on teasing and bantering, a tone that shocks those who have a formal, fearful image of God. For example, at the end of the 40 days of graces, Jesus offered her a crown of flowers or a crown of thorns. No matter how often she chose the crown of thorns, Jesus kept teasingly pushing the crown of flowers to her. When he accused her, "I called and you didn't care," she answered back, "You didn't call loudly enough," and told him to shout his love. She learned to regret the insistence on the crown of thorns. We might think it easy to be holy if God is talking to you every day, but few of us could remain on the path with the 5-year trial that followed her ecstasies. Before this trial, Jesus told her, "I will take away not the grace, but the feeling of grace. Though I will seem to leave you, I will be closer to you." This was easy for her to accept in the midst of ecstasy. But as she said later, she hadn't experienced it yet. At the age of 19, so there's our 19, which is, again, I explained the other day, the Alpha and the Omega as explained to me by God. She started 5 years of dryness and desolation in which she was repelled by prayer and tempted by everything. She referred to her heart as a pitch-dark room with only a feeble light shining that only made the darkness deeper. She was so depressed, she was found twice close to suicide. All she could do to fight back was to hold on to prayer, penance, and serving others, even when it appeared to do no good. Her lifelong devotion to Pentecost can be easily understood because her trial ended in ecstasy. In 1569, which those of you who have been watching me for the full year that I've been on know how I went on about 69 and how I believe firmly last year to have been year 69 of 70, of course, then this being year 70 in one of the periods of 70 times 7 in the book of Daniel. Anyway, at this time, she could have asked for any gifts, but she wanted 2 in particular: to look on any neighbors as good and holy without judgment, and to always have God's presence before her. Far from enjoying the attention her mystical experiences brought her, she was embarrassed by it. For all her days, she wanted a hidden life and tried everything she could to achieve it. When God commanded her to go barefoot as part of her penance, and she could not walk with shoes, she simply cut the soles out of her shoes so that no one would see her as different from the other nuns. I totally get that. I don't know how many of you get that, but I always strive to like remain humble and have enough humility that I always want to be around the people. And I've always been like that. Like even as like a tourist and things like that, you go to other countries and they'll tell you, "Oh, you're from America and you're, you know, essentially of like a different breed or something. You're quote unquote special. Don't go over there and don't go over there." I've always had to go wherever the people were. If I go to Jamaica, I'm going to Kingston. You know, I go to the Virgin Islands, and most of those you think are just pretty, but they have their neighborhoods, and people tell you not to go. And I go looking for the people. So I totally understand this. Like always wanting to remain as unspecial feeling as it relates to being above other people, and to the extent that it keeps you separated from other people as possible. When God commanded her to go barefoot as part of her penance, and she couldn't walk with shoes, he simply cut out the soles of her shoes so no one would see her as different from the other nuns. If she felt an ecstasy coming on, she would hurry to finish her work to go back to her room so nobody would like catch her in the middle of these visions and things, which again is similar to how I responded to mine. When I first started my videos, and Archangel Chamuel, and Raphael, who are still here all the time, but at the time they were making themselves very present and very known to the rest of you, to whomever was watching. And it made me uncomfortable. I mean, I regretted it later because I felt like, how dare I challenge an archangel? Like, who the hell was I? But I didn't do it in a menacing way at the time. It was just like, Raphael, like, you guys can't do this. The same way she talked to Jesus, I talked to them. You guys cannot do this. People are going to think I'm a witch. No one's going to watch. No one's going to listen to the word. No one's going to hear God's message. It's going to be my fault. It's going to be your fault because you're doing tricks on my camera. But I did regret it later because they knew better than me, and I should have remembered that in the moment. So similarly, she learned to see the notoriety as part of God's will. When teaching a novice to accept God's will, she told her, "I wanted a hidden life, but see, God wanted something quite different from me." Some still might think it was easy for her to be holy with all the help from God. Yet, when she was asked once why she was weeping before the cross, she answered that she had to force herself to do something right that she didn't want to do. It's true that when a sister criticized her for acting so different, she thanked her. "May God reward you. You have never spoken truer words." But she told others it hurt her quite a bit to be nice to someone who had insulted her. Mary Magdalene was no pale, shrinking flower. Her wisdom and love led her to her appointment to many important positions at the convent, including mistress of novices. She did not hesitate to be blunt in guiding the women under her care when their spiritual life was at stake. And those of you who have contacted me for conversations know that I don't hesitate to be blunt either. I mean it with love, I promise, but I have to I can't lie to people. I'm not here to lie to anybody. And tell them what they want to hear. Just the truth, whether they want to hear that or not. When one of the novices asked permission to pretend to be impatient so that other novices would not respect her so much, Mary Magdalene's answer shook this novice out of this false humility. What you want to pretend to be, you already are in the eyes of the novices. They don't respect you nearly as much as you'd like to think. Mary Magdalene's life offers a great challenge to all those who think that the best penance comes from fasting and physical discomfort. Though she fasted and wore old clothes She chose the most difficult penance of all by pretending to like the things she didn't like. Not only is this a penance most of us would shrink from, but by her acting like she enjoyed it, no one knew she was doing this great penance. So she wasn't seeking like accolades from other people, like, ooh, look what you can do. You know, she was just doing her thing with God, for God. In the year 1604, which is 11, headaches and paralyzation confined her to bed. Her nerves were so sensitive that she could not be touched without agonizing pain. Ever humble, she took the fact that her prayers were not granted as a sure sign that God's will was being done. For 3 years, she suffered before dying on May 25th in the year 1607 at the age of 41. In her footsteps. To find out more about the Carmelites, visit the following sites: Carmelite Resources, the Carmelites of the Ancient Observance, the Discalcid Carmelite homepage. And here's the prayer to her. Saint Mary Magdalene de Pazzi, pray that we will make a commitment to seek the presence of God in prayer the way you did. Guide us to see the graces God gives us as gifts, not rewards, and to respond with gratitude and humility, not pride and selfishness. Amen. And this is also why I share. I try to the extent that I'm able, my gifts, as opposed to acting as if they come from me and they're for sale and all that kind of stuff, or that they really belong to me. You know, they're bestowed upon me. They don't belong to me. They belong to God. Okay, let's go to the day's events. So much today. In the year 1720, the ship Le Grand Antoine. Antoine is like Anthony. I've been speaking so much about Anthony, my friend Anthony, and Saint Anthony, whose feast day is celebrated on my birthday, June 13th. Antoine, or Anthony, means like worthy of very high praise. Anyway, this ship reaches Marseille, bringing Europe's last major plague outbreak. It kills around 100,000 people. 1810. In the May Revolution, citizens of Buenos Aires expel the Spanish Viceroy Cisneros during Semana de Mayo. 1914. British House of Commons passes the Irish Home Rule Bill. 1935. Track and field athlete Jesse Owens equals or breaks 4 world records in 45 minutes at a Big Ten meet in Ferry Field in Ann Arbor, Michigan, remembered as the greatest 45 minutes ever in any sport. 1986. Hands across America. 6.5 million people, or 11, hold hands from California to New York. That just gave me chills in my legs and in my back and stuff. Did you know? Original Star Wars movie, Episode 4, A New Hope, directed by George Lucas and starring Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford, is first released on May 25th in 1977. Famous birthdays: Ralph Waldo Emerson, Igor Sikorsky, Rachel Carson, Bill Sharman, Ian McKellen, and Anne Heche. Famous weddings: 1661 or 77. King Charles II marries Portuguese Princess Catharina the Braganca. Braganca. Yes, the Braganca. Whatever that is. 1898. Chocolatier Milton S. Hershey, 40, weds Catherine Sweeney. Catherine is a big name today. This is Catherine Sweeney. It was just Catharina the Braganca, and St. Mary Magdalene baptized Catherine. So that may have something to do with this number, or day of the month or year, whatever it is. They got married, Catherine Sweeney and Milton Hershey, at St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City. So again, that had to be St. Patrick's Cathedral on Spring and Prince. St. Patrick's old cathedral, because the new one on Fifth Avenue was not there. 1901, Russian physician and dramatist and author Anton Chekhov marries actress Olga Knipper. 1940, MLB outfielder Stan Musial, 19, weds his high school sweetheart Lillian Labash in Daytona Beach. 1957, NFL coach Chuck Noll, Noll, N-O-L-L, 25, weds first wife Marianne Noll. 2000, television producer and director Mark Tinker, 49, divorces actress and painter Kristen Harmon, 54, after 12 years of marriage. 2012, actress Helena Mlykova, 35, divorces actor Lukas Nowicki, 39, after 9 years of marriage. Famous deaths: Madam C.J. Walker and Robert Capa. Robert Capa, spelled C-A-P-A, was Hungarian. He was a photojournalist. He covered 5 different wars: the Spanish Civil War, the Second Sino-Japanese War, World War II across Europe, the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, and the First Indochina War. He was born on October 22nd in 1913 and was a Libra from Budapest, Austria-Hungary. He died on May 25th in 1954 at the age of 40. Cause of death was injuries from a landmine explosion. Madam C.J. Walker was American and a cosmetics mogul. Her full or real name was Sarah Breedlove, Breedlove, which sounds very native to me. And she developed a successful line of beauty and hair products for Black women that made her the first self-made female millionaire of any color, I'm going to add, in America. The daughter of slaves, Walker became one of the wealthiest African Americans in the country, the world's most successful female entrepreneur of her time. That's of all females. And one of the most successful African American business owners ever. Walker was also known for her philanthropy and civil rights activism. She was born on December 23rd in the year 1867, or 1304 or 1111, and was a Capricorn from Delta, Louisiana, USA. She died on May 25th in the year 1919, or 11, at the age of 51, of kidney failure and complications from hypertension. Anne Heche is American and an actress. Film credits include 6 Days, 7 Nights, Return to Paradise, I Know What You Did Last Summer, John Q, and Volcano. I'm pretty sure she was in the remake of Psycho also. Not sure why that's not listed. Her relationship with comedian Ellen DeGeneres and the events following their breakup became subjects of widespread media interest. She was born on May 25th in 1969 and is 47 years old, a Gemini, so I guess she's going to be 48, a Gemini from Aurora, Ohio, USA. Ian McKellen, why can't I say his name today, is British and an actor. Considered one of the greatest British actors of all time, recipient of 6 Olivier Awards. I'm presuming named after Laurence Olivier, because it's spelled O-L-I-V-I-E-R, Awards. Also a Tony Award and a Golden Globe, 2 Academy Award nominations, 4 BAFTA nominations, and 5 Emmy nominations. His notable film roles include Gandalf in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, Magneto in the X-Men films, and Sir Leigh Teabing. I almost said teabag, which never mind. I won't go there with teabag. Sir Leigh Teabing in the Da Vinci Code. He was born on May 25th in 1939 and is 78 years old. I guess he'll be 79. A Gemini from Burnley, Lancashire, England. Bill Sharman was American and an NBA guard, best known for his time with the Boston Celtics in the 1950s, partnering with Bob Cousy in what some consider the greatest backcourt duo of all time. He is credited with introducing the morning shoot-around and was 10-time NBA champion. Born on May 25th, 1926, he was a Gemini from Abilene, Texas, USA. He died on October 23rd in 2013 at the age of 87 of a stroke. Rachel Carson was also American, a marine biologist and a writer. She began her career as an aquatic biologist in the U.S. Bureau of Fisheries before becoming a full-time nature writer in the 1950s. Her widely praised 1951 bestseller, The Sea Around Us, won her a U.S. National Book Award. Her next book, The Edge of the Sea, and the reissued version of her first book, Under the Sea Wind, were also bestsellers. She was posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Jimmy Carter. She was born on May 25th in 1907, was a Gemini from Springdale, Pennsylvania, USA. She died on April 14th in 1964, which is 65 or 11, at the age of 56, which is also 11, of a heart attack. Igor Sikorsky was Russian, Ukrainian, American, and an aviator. He designed and flew the world's first multi-engine fixed-wing aircraft and helicopter. He was born on May 25th in 1889 and was a Gemini from Kiev, Ukraine. He died on October 26th in 1972 at the age of 83, another 11. And lastly, Ralph Waldo Emerson was American and a lecturer and a poet. As leader of the transcendentalist movement of the mid-19th century, he was a champion of individualism and a prescient critic of the countervailing pressures of society. He remains among linchpins of the American Romantic movement. He was born on May 25th in 1803 and was a Gemini from Boston, Massachusetts, USA. He died on April 27th in 1882 at the age of 78 of pneumonia. And like I said, he was the last. So lastly, quick mention, I have to at least mention it, this is also the day of the Gemini supermoon, the new moon. And it's all about self-expression and making sure that we're being true to ourselves and we've expressed ourselves. Communication too, you know, and thought, like thought-provoking things, and coming to realizations and epiphanies and truisms about ourselves, and then like making it known, you know, at least to us, like being very clear about it. If no one else, if we're not going to shout it from the rooftops rather, at least, you know, we're not in the closet anymore about whatever this truth is for us. That's what I feel about the new moon. Also, it happens to, another thing that I didn't mention that I had forgotten, but I saw it again, I think like on astronomy.com or something. But that occurs is Venus in Aries is going to be square with Pluto's retrograde in Capricorn at 19 degrees on the very same day. So I guess father not wanting to be left out of the fun, having his own movement while mother does her thing as the moon and as the sign of Gemini. With that, let's get to the cards and the dice. I'm beginning with cocktail. Yes. And a weekend away. God says it's 50-50. Romantic dinner. And party. Wants us to turn up. All right, with that, I'm going to start with the... Oh, and I got to show you this too. Because I think this is a message again for some of you that this particular moon is not going to be your moon to really, really come together with your partner, but the next one will be the honeymoon in Sagittarius, which is going to be the full moon that occurs in June. So the next moon, the June 9th, I think that some of the things that will occur today, on this day, May 25th, will, you know, like be the spark to what occurs under the full moon, the Sagittarius honeymoon in the month of June, June 9th, which is the same day again as the end of the Jupiter retrograde, Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. So I just didn't think it was a mistake that I was starting with those cards. So back to these. Again, yes, the Page of Fire, which for me represents specifically Sagittarius, but can also be Leo, Aries. The Page of Fire is outgrowing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. The Six of Air. Things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. Page of Fire. Opening to renewal or judgment with Archangel Jeremiah. Review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. Page of Fire. And unity with Archangel Sandalphon. Major Arcana card, unity. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations. Seek out mentors and like-minded friends. Unity is the Hierophant in the traditional tarot. Page of Fire back. Before I started this, oh, here comes this Seven of Fire and the need to defend our beliefs and decisions, stand your ground, and choose your battles wisely. I was working with my rainbow obsidian, this piece, which you see has another heart that attempted to form, but it was a fail on this one. And it looks like it's like covered in paint. And that's because this is another very rare piece. It is rainbow obsidian that is also simultaneously, naturally, snowflake obsidian. But yeah, there's one of the hearts, or an attempt at one. It didn't make it. I was working with that, and I also prayed over the cards and over the reading in general that the sacrifice, because since I was going to be talking about Jesus and about St. Mary Magdalene, the sacrifice that I was attempting to make was acceptable to him for our sake, all of us watching, and for the sake of the entire Lightbringer community. And I continue to pray that this reading does him an honor and not a disservice. We're beginning now with the Seven of Fire, and I'm going to shuffle for a second in my hand. But this is about defending our beliefs and decisions and standing our ground, but choosing our battles wisely. So we're not going to fight every single fight, but there will be people trying to antagonize us one way or another. Very nice and very appropriate. The overall energy is the High Priestess, Major Arcana card number 2, represented by Archangel Haniel here. Listen to your intuition. Have patience and consider carefully what you want before acting. The High Priestess is a Gemini. So very nice to see this. But this card in tarot for many practitioners of tarot can also represent water signs. But the High Priestess is a Gemini. I promise you. Anywho, get into this. And they're showing me when I put these cards down, the Eight of Fire. So there's the communication that's coming through with the sign of Gemini too. Masculine, 5 of fire. I told you some people are going to try to antagonize us. Competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. So again, that 7 of fire showed up to say that you're going to choose your battles wisely. Some of these people you will fight. From some of them, you will walk away, and you will decide which to do when. You're surrounded by the 9 of water. Your wish comes true. Concerns fade away of a love of life. Perhaps this is why they're jealous. In your subconscious, the page of air, who's logical, honest, impulsive, and curious, and a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. So you could be contemplating a delay, something deferred, perhaps your wish. Maybe you're thinking it's not coming. Maybe you're acting like a Gemini, and manufacturing a bunch of stuff in your head. Or you could be contemplating some news you have to drop on somebody, or thinking about something they dropped on you that wasn't nice. Maybe that's what this person did. I love how Gemini is representing for the Gemini moon. Come through. The feminine is the lovers with Archangel Raphael. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. So the lovers represents the sign of Gemini. Whoop, whoop. Can also represent another air sign, Aquarius, Libra. And the sun with Archangel Uriel. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. So here's Father's 19 yet again. Maybe this is coming through to represent for the Pluto, although Pluto rules Scorpio, so that's that's water. I don't know why the 19 is here, but I'm happy to see it. The sun always makes everything better. Have confidence in yourself. Oh, the sun might be here because the sun, duh, the S-O-N. Makes total sense now. It's Ascension Thursday. In the feminine subconscious, the 3 of earth, the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. 3 of earth, very similar to the judgment card that came through. Of course, judgment carries a lot more weight as major arcana. And judgment showed up here as renewal, of course. But the 3 of earth is similar, at least as it relates to work. It means that your boss has is keeping like a watchful eye on you, wants to give you a promotion, wants to give you a bonus, a raise, at least a pat on the shoulder, if nothing else, like some sort of recognition. Having the 3 of earth here mirroring the page of air, for some of the feminine, we could be, using some of this energy. Unfortunately, it could be delayed, and maybe that's why it's here in our subconscious. Like we're thinking, like, when is my thing coming? But here is where the sun shines on you. So very shortly, crowning. Wow, unity. What did I say about Thursday? Major arcana card, unity, or the Hierophant. Crowning the union, traditional viewpoints or methods. Spiritual organizations seek out mentors and like-minded friends. This is about surrounding yourself with people of your vibration or higher. And it's a 5. It's all about change. So it could be change of environment. Maybe you are removing yourself from this sort of energy, this contrasting, conflicting energy of the 5 of fire. You may be moving away from this masculine. If you haven't already, perhaps you had asked, you had made a wish to be helped to rid yourself of this energy, dear star, first star I see tonight, or dear God, or however you do it, please help me to rid myself of this person or, this energy from my life. And your wish comes true here. Maybe that, again, that's what has been delayed, but it's happening. And with unity sitting next to the lovers, a lot of commitments, especially crossing the sun too. This is about commitment. And somebody's mad here, basically. This is what this is. Somebody's mad, but can you blame them? At the root, the Knight of Fire, who's passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. So with this, it can be like there had been delay, and then all of a sudden everything picks up. And so the Knight of Fire takes off and brings you your bonus. And then crossing the sun, everything's better then. Everything's better then. You're just happy. You're giddy. You have a love of everything, life in general. The heart of the matter. The Three of Water, a celebration, a wedding, graduation, or birth announcement, and the need to have more fun. Well, with the Three of Water at the heart of the matter, underneath the Unity card, it could be celebration of an actual wedding or other commitment. You know, we could just be happy that we're together. Happy to be in love. Happy the sun is shining on us. We're going to get outside because the sun is shining in general. It's literally shining. We're going to go enjoy Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and be more social. We need to have more fun. Our prayers have been answered. I'm going to, you know, jump for joy and thank the universe, thank God. Or party of three, a situation, a negative situation involving three people. We're going to remove ourselves from it. We're going to remove it from our life with this energy of the Hierophant, which moves us to seek out like-minded friends and not people who bring us drama. From that, I'm going to go to the romance cards. Again, beginning with honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Opening to playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Like a page of air, maybe. Gemini's the youthful of the air element. So they would come through as the page. This can also represent a younger person, too. Playfulness back. And calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Playfulness. Let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. Playfulness and worship. In the cut. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Overall energy is healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. But I always say not only your parents, it's anybody who can have such an impact over your life that it's prevented you from moving forward with life in general or with love, is with whom you have to heal the relationship. And again, in some cases, you're going to heal it by repairing it. And in some cases, you're going to walk away. Seven of Fire. You choose. Atop that Five of Fire, new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. And yes, whoever this is, or whatever energy this is, they're mad. For some, this may be also coming through now, an inner turmoil, that Five of Fire. Like so many things. Remember, we've got to be open to both giving and receiving love. So many things wonderful happening around you. It's like a panic. Like, you know, about moving this way because this new love has got you all stirred up, or love anew. Surrounding. Atop the Nine of Water, with your wishes being granted. Yes, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So if you had thought that, you know, you were out of the game before, perhaps because of whatever that energy is, that's the way it's going to apply to some, that Five of Fire. No, don't give up. Everything's finally working out. So you should need to stay optimistic about your love life. And here, atop the Page of Air, free yourself. This is about freeing yourself again, moving away from this negativity, freeing yourself from it, whatever it represents in your life. It's time to take back control of your life. And you should have done it, you know, before, but don't beat yourself up. It's just consider it's delayed, but get it done. Here, atop the Lovers, deception. Someone's wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. Maybe someone who hasn't come forward and admitting, you know, how they feel. Again, it's that self-conflict or that conflict involving the other person that's making you feel like you can't be yourself and you can't, you know, face this new love or love anew. Atop the Sun, flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others, like a page of fire, a Sagittarius. Again, the mirror sign of Gemini is going to be youthful, playful. Atop the 3 of Earth, being a team player, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. For some of you, this is for like your wedding, you know, help you to plan, help you to get ready, help you to do that. For others, you may need somebody to talk to in terms of freeing yourself. And for others still, this can be the angels. For me, it certainly is. Crowning atop the Unity card or the Hierophant is finances and career. Well, makes sense because the Unity card, at least for this reading on this day, the Unity card or the Hierophant represents the sign of Taurus. And that is where the Gemini new moon will be. Taurus. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. And judging by, again, this 3 of Earth, I'd say if there have been difficulty, that's improving. You know that you're aware that you're due for a promotion or a raise or something. And again, the sun shines on you in a moment. And that sun crossing the finances and career. So that's going to be a bright spot in your life. Here, atop the Knight of Fire, codependency. So this Knight of Fire can have a connection for some of us to this 5 of Fire, because the 5 is not an actual person, but the Knight is. And it sits next to the free yourself. So this could be the fire sign from whom some of us need to walk away. A Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. And in that regard, it's connected to the deception and to the lovers, in that the lovers is often a decision between 2 quote-unquote karmic relationships. Not as in like quote-unquote the karmic, but karmic meaning fated, destined, of the universe, not of your own control. You had to, you know, experience these 2 loves, or, you know, 2 situations. But now it's time to choose. And most of us, I would hope, are going to go with true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. That's why. I want to see what the Ascended Masters would add, especially since that next card isn't upright anyway. Beginning with spiritual law of attraction. This is getting what we give, reaping what we sow. Opening 2, mother, wife, sister, daughter. For some of you, that's who this is. This could be your mother. This could be your wife, your girlfriend, the mother of your children. They're an obstacle to your relationship. You have a codependent, unhealthy, toxic relationship with them, and you have to free yourself from it. Remain positive about it, because that's how the law of attraction works, and you will free yourself from it. For others, and for some of those still, this mother, wife, sister, daughter card has to do with healing your own inner feminine, which you can certainly do with the energy of the moon. The moon is all about feminine energy of surrender. And again, this is the new beginnings, new starts, fresh starts. Gemini, so all about that self-expression and being yourself and being true to you. Super moon. If ever you could have drawn on some feminine energy of surrender, it is now. With the help of like the High Priestess, spiritual law of attraction. Opening 2, persistence. Lou, don't give up. Spiritual law of attraction. And energy healing with Merlin. Again, clearing negative energy from our cipher. Spiritual law of attraction back. And fertility with Pan. A lot of us have ants in our pants lately. I've been talking to some of you guys. Spiritual law of attraction back. I'll go one more. Oh boy, I should have spared myself. But it's peace offering. This is, as it relates to love, about the need to, and relationships, the need to extend the olive branch. But when I pull the card, people die. And I have to mention that. I can't not mention it. For those that we lose from around our individual circles, it tends to be like a close friend or like friend of the family. So maybe it's not your close friend, but it's your mom or dad's close friend. It was like practically your aunt or uncle. It's like that type of thing. I mean, it can really be anybody, but that's what I see most often. It's people's beloved pets, You know, so in some cases that those are like your children. You don't have any children. It's that. And there's celebrities that go. And actually yesterday I wasn't doing a reading. It was in, you know, so I wasn't on the camera. I pulled the proper burial for freedom card too, and I had already pulled this on camera. So I knew somebody was going to go, and then we had, unfortunately, that bombing where 22, I'm going to call them kids. It may have been kids and their parents. I'm not sure exactly who died, but at an Ariana Grande concert, I'm figuring those are kids. 22 kids murdered, and also Roger Moore passed away. So that explained that for me. All right, I'm going to cut. Go now, says Serapis Bay. And here comes the green man with the abundance. So no worries about this finances and career. All will be well. Again, wishes granted here, and the sun shining here. And now the green man shows up to double down on that. Also to guide us to get out into nature. I didn't shuffle these in my hand, did I? That's what I stopped for a second. I'm like, did I? And I just started laying them. It is what it is. What is meant to happen is what happens. So I was supposed to do it this way. Ooh. Atop new love. Father, husband, brother, son, and Osiris. Very nice. This card, according to the author, the way it's written, again, like similar to the mother, wife, sister, daughter that showed up before, is about healing a relationship, including perhaps our own inner. That's why I said this could be fighting yourself. This 5 of fire. This could be the need to heal your inner masculine as a result as well. Or you may need to heal a relationship with a masculine energy in your life somewhere else. This person with whom, it can be somebody else with whom you're fighting, or somebody else that's antagonizing you. And perhaps it is somebody who falls into the category father, husband, brother, son, or a male or masculine, rather, energy in your life. Atop, stay optimistic about your love life. Right, says Thought. So this could be writing cards, writing love letters, writing a text. For some, yeah, this is writing. This is like getting, again, for some there's an end to a marriage also, and that's why this is crossing the Hierophant card too. And that's the need to write. It's the papers, you know, as they call them, quote unquote papers, divorce papers. That's what this is. And okay, I had forgotten Free Yourself was sitting here when that came in just now, but now, yeah, that makes even more sense. And notice the moon here too in this card. So it's like under the, because Thought is the planet Mercury. So it's like under the Mercury or the Gemini moon is when you need to do this. When you need to finally speak up for yourself, express yourself, and with the truth, right? The truth will set you free is what this is. Sitting here with the page, again, representing the sign of Gemini, because we're the youthful of the air signs. Pages are the young, the youthful. The Gemini moon, the truth that you come out with and that you admit about yourself will set you free. And here, continuing in that, the cards are not failing us at all. Atop this Free Yourself is follow your heart, says St. Francis. Atop the deception, priorities, says King Solomon. So make it a priority to remove that mask. The truth will set you free too, feminine. Atop the flirt and the sun, energy healing. This is about being revitalized by that sun and also by the moon. Getting out into nature like the green man suggests. And using that energy, capitalizing on it you know, and at the same time, it's like a dual opportunity. Spend some time with mother, spend some time with the son. And when I picked up this retreat into nature card, the son is right here. Here he is. Open your heart to love, says Jesus. Okay. Top, let your friends help you. And the 3 of earth is Horus again. So more Jesus in his higher vibration. You are seeing this situation accurately. And more moon too. Crowning. Atop, finances and career. Find the blessings in your current situation, says Krishna. So for some of us, in pulling away from a bad relationship, because I don't want to attribute that only to the masculine. It's here too with the feminine. For some of us, that's how the lovers card applies to us. It's this choice. And the codependency is also shared. Some of us have to get out of a toxic relationship, and we've remained in it because of money. And we're afraid to, you know, lose money if we leave it, and, you know, all of that. Krishna's saying, you know, to look for the positives in that situation. So, for example, if you do masculine, end up having to pay some sort of child support or alimony, or you lose the house, the wife gets it or whatever, and you got to start all over in that regard. Yeah, I understand the concern about money in the 3D sense, but what Krishna is saying is consider the good in that situation, that you're away from this drama, that you're at peace, that you followed your heart, that the flow of abundance then opens to you because you've opened your heart to love as Jesus guides you and the universe guides you to do. You've gotten those papers as thought guides you to do. That's the blessing in your current situation. And similarly, feminine, it goes for you. When you heal your energy of this toxic karmic relationship that's sitting here under the lovers, you make that your priority, regardless of money and other 3D issues, you'll be blessed. There's a blessing in that alone. But on top of that, the flow of prosperity opens up to you. Doors begin to fly open when we follow the guidance of the universe. Here atop the codependency, boom, okay? Purification. You got to detoxify your life of these people. Just like the card that's crowning us suggests, the unity card, the Hierophant. It's about clearing our sphere of energy, our cipher of negativity. Purification of our whole cipher. So that we can find peace. The sun, S-O-N, is the peace bringer. Attempts to bring us peace. Okay, that's why it's crossing here. Get your energy healed by the sun. Use that strength, that newfound strength, to purify yourself of this codependency, this toxicity. Follow your heart, because you don't want to be here either. Not only does the sun not want you here with this kind of negativity, you don't want to be here. At the heart of the matter, atop the true love, work your magic. You can do this, is what the universe is saying. Here's some advice to help you. And from the Keepers of the Light Oracle, beginning with Horus and Cosmic Gateway, your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. Opening to Master Jesus. Boom! How you like me now? Forgiveness. You are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father healing is possible at this time. And I'm connecting this with the Father here as well, for those of you who have this situation. Jesus and I had this the other day with Isis side by side, her other vibration, Mary, mother of Jesus, and now we have Jesus next to his other vibration, Horus, and vice versa. How beautiful is that? Master Jesus back. White Chief, Ancestor Spirit, connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. Again, this. Remember, our overall energy from the Romance Angels was indeed like healing a family issue. So I think it has something to do with father or a male or masculine energy in a lot of our lives. Jesus. Opening to the Miriam, more Gemini, more twin. Sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. So don't allow yourself to be held back and restricted by the energy of something like a 5 of fire. When you've got the sun here, the most brilliant, and you've got the sun here, you've got the SU in here, and you've got the SO in here to help you through this. Let your friends help you. Jesus back, I'm going to cut. Odin, psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. This is so Gemini. This is so thought, right? The free yourself with the truth. See truth for what it is and follow your intuition. Not only your intuition, the guidance that's there, right? Because you're seeing the situation accurately. That's why you're to follow the intuition. Dwal cool, Dharma unfolding. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. And lastly, from the Mary Queen of Angels deck, beginning with Jesus, I pray for Jesus's help and guidance with this situation. Opening to trust. I know that God, in his infinite wisdom and love, is answering my prayers right now. Trust. Speaking of prayers, prayer. Instead of worrying, I pray about this situation to bring about real solutions. Trust. Compassion. I see and feel others' points of view with forgiveness and kindness. Oh, compassion now at the top, but they want us to see the blessings too. I have 2 blessings cards in this deck, by the way. I was blessed with 2 blessings cards. And look at that! When I went to make the cards all fall down, one stood up. It's feminine. It's here with a little cluster, actually. Feminine. I allow my feminine nature to shine brightly as a valuable part of my identity. So this is very, again, full new moon, because the moon, feminine, energy of surrender. Behind that, truth. I love this. Thank you, Jesus. I'm lovingly honest with myself and others. And look what's sticking up. Action. Okay? And look what's... Wow, look what's here too, honesty. Okay, action says, today I take action related to the priorities that I've previously put off. And the honesty card lastly says, I'm in touch with my true feelings regarding this situation. So this is following your heart. Okay, taking us back to compassion. On that note, I can probably cut. Boom. God. I step out of the way and surrender any need for control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through me and this situation. Whoa. The overall energy is Father. My true Father is God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and our relationship. So some of us do have a relationship to heal with a father. Or, again, male or masculine energy, and that can be within ourselves as well. Further to this, Mary, Queen of all angels, says, enthusiasm. Whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I follow. So she wants you to be excited about your life, about yourself, basically is what she's saying here. To the feminine, mercy. I am kind and thoughtful toward myself and others. Lady Nada, from the Keepers of the Light Oracle, for the masculine, heart awakening. Oh, I love this for you. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. She's talking about what I was talking about earlier. The inability or unwillingness, it seems like, for some of us to receive love as openly and freely as we are to give it. We've got to work on that. Lady Portia, to the feminine, divine order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. So this can be with regard to the changes you have to make in your life, the energy healing that you need to do, feminine, to those to whom that applies. And masculine, Ace of Earth. So don't worry about this money that you were concerned with. You got more coming. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts also coming your way. Feminine, the Eight of Fire. Events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over and many things are happening at once. So this is just like what we saw here with the Knight of Fire, like things not moving. They were delayed. The page of, and this can be talking about, I never even finished my sentences. Goodness. Page of Air here, and then Knight of Fire. So I was saying, you know, it's slow, it's delayed, and all of a sudden it picks up and comes charging forward as the Knight of Fire. But this can be taking it back to what I said in the beginning when I started about how some of this reading was just going to be like the spark that ignites the real deal that's going to happen on June 9th for some. And again, that can be. It's like with the Page of Air, with the Gemini moon, perhaps this new moon, nothing necessarily happening or not much that we can see, or nothing has been happening prior. And then all of a sudden, with this new moon on May 25th, all of a sudden things start to happen like crazy. And by the time we reach the Night of Fire, the Sagittarius moon, the full moon on June 9th, you know, we're just overwhelmed by all these good occurrences. This can also be heavy communication coming too, feminine. From the Ascended Masters to the masculine, crystals with Epona. Maybe that's why I was moved to pull out that big piece of rainbow / snowflake obsidian today, to show you guys, just to go over some of the ways in which I heal myself, and with some of the kinds of stones that I heal myself. I got some serpentine here because I'm a fire serpent angel. Of course, lots of quartz and stuff. This is lucite. This is very heavily Aphrodite and Venus. Might want to work with some of that. I keep I have some of this on my ankle always. I never take it off my anklet. This also very good for like love and, you know, Venus and fertility. This is rhodonite. I like green stones too for healing and things like that. And just pretty much anything green is going to be good for healing. Feminine, from the Ascended Masters for you. Stay focused, okay? Don't get distracted by the fact that you think maybe nothing's happening, because all of a sudden, boom. And from the Romance Angels to the masculine, pay attention to the red flags. You know what the red flag is? That 5 of Fire. You got to take care of that. You got to handle your business in this regard. Whatever or whomever this is, you have to handle it. The signs are cautioning you. And lastly, feminine, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't rid yourself of a negative situation or allow the universe to rid you of a negative situation so that you can be with them anyway. I hope that you guys enjoyed this daily reading. Have a blessed Ascension Thursday and an awesome new moon. But I hope and will be, God willing, back with a specific new moon video to carry us through and give us some insight into that energy over the coming 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks. Namaste, angels.